working at Deutsche Telekom as a senior partner manager.
Excellent. Well, welcome, Saima. It's very good to meet you remotely. So thank you for joining this interview. As a first question, can you provide some general thoughts on the adoption of new technologies and how these relate to sustainability?
Of course. When I look into the sustainability aspect, one of the things which comes to my mind is the Internet of Things, which Deutsche Telekom is also very active in at the moment. And I also heard one of the colleagues from a survey that which also was concluded in Deutsche Telekom with many of the IoT experts that we have, that around 76% of those experts are convinced that the companies will rely on the IoT solutions for building control to achieve their environmental goals, which I see as one of the very positive impact of a technology when it comes to the sustainability aspect.
Very much so. It's a very significant proportion. But what about the actual sector that you're in? What's happening in telecoms networks specifically to improve efficiencies and sustainability?
As you know that we are an operator, so Deutsche Telekom, yes. And much of our electricity bill is actually coming from our network parts. And if we look at the current mobile network consumption, it's somewhere around 20 to 30%, but obviously it's going to increase, and the reason is, of course, the 5G deployment and the number of sites which are going to increase because of it, and of course the huge amount of data traffic. And as we just discussed about IoT aspect, how billions of devices will be connected, which will be relying on the networks. So currently, how radio access networks are built, there is an inherent disadvantage in this technology is the fact that it's 100% on, so it's always available, irrespective of the fact whether there is a user which is actually using any of the services or not. And this is where I see that artificial intelligence could play a huge role by looking into the patterns of how the traffic patterns look like in a certain sector, and how is the difference, let's say, between the traffic profiles during the day or night, how it is comparable when it comes to the weekdays, the weekends, and also depending on the location where the mobile networks are. And based on this forecast, based on this data, based on the PRB utilization data, the algorithm can learn these and predict how and where we can switch off, let's say, some of the resources of the network. Maybe we can put some of the cells into the sleep mode so that we have, of course, the coverage overall, but maybe some of the capacity layers are going to the cell sleep mode. And once there is a detection of traffic in some of the areas, then these are waken up automatically, of course. And I believe that this algorithm could make our networks much more intelligent, so we can go directly from always on to intelligent networks, which are on depending on how the user or how the activity is in that area. So I would say it will definitely lead to a huge energy savings for the networks.
Yes, very much so, I'm sure, and that's a new technology which is really, increasing efficiency and making sure that your network is just dimensioned correctly for what you're having to support. It's a great development to hear about. So what is it that Deutsche Telekom is trying to achieve overall in the sustainability space?
So we are actually we have set up our climate goals already quite some time ago, and for both the scope 1 and 2 emissions, we want to reduce 90% until 2030 as compared to 2017 when we set up. And I'm of course very happy to tell you that from this year onward, we are using complete 100% renewable energy for our networks. So for the whole Germany and Europe wide, and until 2030, we are also looking forward to decrease around 25% of the emissions in our entire value chain emissions. So these are the targets that we are really working upon as a whole company, and I believe we will achieve this.
Those are very significant and challenging goals that you have there. But we're in business for customers. What's the perspective of your customers on these various sustainability initiatives?
I have to admit that more and more customers are actually becoming very aware of what kind of products they are buying and how sustainable these products are. And being the mobile operators, we also see that the consumers want to use the green surfing, green internet available for them. And Deutsche Telekom is, of course, happy to provide those, since I mentioned already that we are running 100% on renewable energy sources. So if you are surfing telecom network, that it's a completely green network service that
Green
you are
experience. Fantastic. Thank you very much for your time. It's extremely interesting to hear your perspectives. Thank you very much.
Thanks to you.